I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm focusing on the psalm. We read from Psalm 90 today, and just a little bit of historical piece, that this is the only psalm that is considered to be attributed to Moses. But it's also a psalm which is very appropriate for those going off into exile. So was this written later by someone as they were in exile, or is it written by Moses? We're not exactly sure. But it is placed in the Psalms right after Psalm 89, which was a whole previous section. It's the beginning of a new section of Psalms. And in that Psalm 89, we hear about the covenant of David, how God established this covenant, but then kind of fell apart. And they're saying, but what happened? You've taken away our king and everything. And of course, since the exile into Babylon, there was never another king in Israel, never another Davidic king in Israel. And it would seem as if the covenant of Almighty God was broken, but of course we know it was fulfilled in Jesus. And so then for this psalm then to speak about how they're going off and they're in exile for 70 years. They don't know how long they're going to be in exile, but they're in exile. They're not sure if they're ever going to come back and rebuild Jerusalem. But they say we have to stay faithful to our truth, to our faith. And so, in the midst of all this, what happens? We have one line, "Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain wisdom of heart." And as I pondered over this morning, teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain wisdom of heart. Thinking about how so often, without thinking about it, we just think we're going to live forever. Well, when we think about it, we know we won't. But we say we have plenty of time to grow close to Almighty God. We have plenty of time to do what we need to do. But rather, the psalmist is saying, teach us to number our days aright, to see that our days are indeed numbered. Not to be morbid about it, but to recognize, now, I need that wisdom of heart that says, now, in this moment, I need to seek holiness. Now, in this moment, I need to seek God. And the response, fill us with your love, O Lord, and we will sing for joy. Fill us with your love, O Lord, and we will sing for joy. On one level, that sounds like a very good thing. I'm feeling so empty, Lord, so come and fill me up with your love, and then I'll be able to sing for joy. But as I was pondering more and more over this, what is the Lord's love? The Lord's love looks like this. And if we're looking to be filled with the love of the Lord, it may feel empty. And in fact, for us to be filled with the Lord, what has to happen first? We have to be emptied. We have to be emptied of ourselves, of our own self-love, if we're going to be filled with the love of the Lord. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, if you've ever experienced this before, but when you die to your self-love, it's painful. It hurts. Because it means that we have to say no to ourselves and even no to the feeling of experience with God sometimes. We're saying, empty me, Lord. Empty me, Lord, of myself. Empty me, Lord, of my own selfishness, my own self-love, my own turning in on myself, my own egotistic tendencies. Empty me, Lord, so that you can fill me with your love. In prayer this morning, I just was looking through this and saying, Lord, here, take my self-love. And I open my hands. Fill me with your love. Fill me with your love. And even in those moments of feeling empty, even as I have to die to myself and the pain that causes me, if I know that it's filling me with your love, even that self-sacrificing love of Christ on the cross, will sing for joy. Because this is for what we were made. We were made not to be turned in on ourselves, but be turned to Almighty God in love. And when we are filled with that, then in our fulfillment we can sing for joy, even when it doesn't feel joyful. Fill us with your love, O Lord, and we will sing for joy.